What's up, Michigan State fans? It's Jacob Katzek here back for another episode of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. This is now the podcast for Thursday, March 2026. Going to talk more about this Sweet 16 matchup against the Huskies coming up. UConn, Michigan State, two storied programs, two programs that, again, have a lot of history of success in March. Michigan State is trying to get back to the Elite Eight for a second consecutive year. UConn, they just won back-to-back titles in 23 and 24. They've done it. I think they have a streak going. If they get to this point, they've won the title two, three, four straight times, or the two times they've gotten this far before this one with Dan Hurley, their current head coach. They have won the title. So again, not necessarily a team that you necessarily want to see at this time of year, but that does not mean they are unbeatable. Because I mean, it's a 2 versus a 3 game. If MSU wins this game, it wouldn't exactly be some monster upset. Metrics have the game basically as a toss up, but again, I don't know how much metrics really matter this time of year. March Madness, things are just different, But again, we're going to kind of go over today some of the keys to this game for Michigan State. What are some of the things that kind of just have to happen for them in this game? One of the first things that Izzo is really, really stressing earlier in the week is the offensive glass, specifically, limiting Terrace Reed, center. Used to play for Michigan. Now is just a much, much, much improved player. Now for the Huskies, now play the 5. During the postseason, he's averaging about 13 or 14 rebounds per game. Just a beast on the glass. He had a 27 rebound game against Furman in the first round. So again, I know it's Furman, but 27 rebounds in a game is 27 rebounds in the game. Like he can be a truly dominant force, like down on the block, down on the glass. For the Huskies, he's their top score on a per game basis. He's their top scorer. MSU wasn't able to really game plan and see what he's like for them when they played in that exhibition game because he missed it. I believe it was a hamstring injury that kept him out way back in October. So again, that'll be an interesting phase to see how they do. Michigan State has the best defensive rebounding percentage in the country per KenPom, so they are capable of containing Reed on that glass. Another thing about Reed, he has 8 straight games now, entering this one where he's had at least 3 offensive rebounds. It's like he's doing this consistently where he's getting UConn extra possessions, getting second chance points. And that's the type of thing that'll drive Izzo up a wall because if you can not, obviously you've got to finish off the possessions this time of year because again, the possessions are just so, so valuable in March Madness. You try to, because again, Michigan State, they try to have a fast break offense basically every single possession, but it's still at the end of the day not the fastest paced team because if they don't immediately have a look, usually they're running a full half court offense where they're taking up all or most of the shot clock. So again, you got to finish off these possessions, grab those defensive boards. Again, Kohler and Cooper are going to be huge in that way in defending Terrace Reed and just getting those defensive stops whenever UConn puts up a shot and misses it. So that's the first thing. The second thing, it's not really, it's more of a question, but also still a key is guarding UConn's Alex Karaban. Another really, really good player for them. He started there for 4 seasons. He's won 2 national titles, and he presents a matchup problem for Michigan State because the way they usually do their rotations, starting lineup, Karaban's at the 4, and he's not necessarily a guy who matches up. I'd say Kohler at the 4 doesn't necessarily match up well with Karaban because Karaban likes to live more on the perimeter. Like he goes around screens and he just runs around a whole lot on the 3-point arc, and that's not really Kohler's defensive game. You don't want Kohler chasing shooters out there on the perimeter. So what can you do? It's probably maybe you go smaller. Maybe Kohler's playing the 5 and guarding Terrace Reed. Maybe Cooper is playing the 5 and guarding Terrace Reed. And then maybe you haven't seen much of Cohen Carr at the 4 this season, but maybe you do that. Maybe you move him down there. Maybe you make him play the 4, and because again, athleticism wise, he can match up with anyone. Carr goes around screens, I think, good enough that he would be able to keep up with Alex Karaban and maybe cause some issues. I wouldn't be stunned if you saw Jordan Scott maybe guard him just a little bit. Again, maybe that's a 4 guy against a 2 guy, but Scott could do it. Standing at 6'8", that's about where Karaban is. So, but again, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what the defensive game plan for Alex Caravan is. That's one of the first things I'm going to be watching on Friday night is just see what they how they handle him on which guys they're choosing for the defensive assignment. Again, one of the other things here, well, one of the last things I want to touch on is you got to make the free throws in this game. I mean, that's kind of a given in any game, but I do think there's some added emphasis during this one because UConn does have a bit of a fouling problem, commit 18 fouls per game. Uh, Technically middle of the pack of Division One, but for a team this late in the season, it's a little more than you'd like to see for a Sweet 16 team. I think I saw it was on. I was scrolling through the KenPom page for them, and it was like 24% of UConn's opponents' points have come at the charity stripe. It was the 15th. I clicked on it. It's the 15th highest number ratio wise, just how teams are getting their points in the entire country. It was second among tournament teams. The other team being 14 seed Kennesaw State, and obviously that means it's the highest percent or the ratio of the teams that are left. So you got to get to the line for one because again that could get guys in foul trouble. So you get maybe if you can get Reed or Caravan or a guy like Silas Demery on the bench for just extended minutes, uh, force them to dig into their bench a little more than they'd like in a Sweet 16 game where usually you see starters get more minutes. That can be huge. And again, foul shots are also just simply a great way to score points. Michigan State is a good free throw shooting team. They've shot 81% during their two NCAA tournament games so far. It was during that Louisville game, but for the most part this season, they're sitting at about 75, 76%, which is a pretty good spot to be in. They're in like the 30s or the 40s nationally in those rankings. But yeah, those are the three main things that are sticking out to me right now about things that Michigan State must do. There are obviously other things you got to do, but those are just three things that I think are in the controllables for Michigan State. Like I would like hit 3 pointers. Oh yeah, sometimes you don't hit the threes though. Sometimes the threes just have the fall. They are shooting it better, a lot better as of late, but again, there's just some natural variance to it. Like hit 3 pointers isn't super great analysis. So again, controlling the glass, that's something you can control a little bit more. Who you put on Alex Caravan and maybe how they do, that's a lot more controllable than if you're hitting shots and free throws. Kind of the same deal, but I really do think you've got to try to be aggressive, challenge that pretty good front court. I will say of UConn a little bit. Again, like it'll be interesting to see maybe how Cohen Carr handles it because there have been times where he's gone up against good front courts like Michigan, hasn't done so good, but he's coming off that fantastic game against Louisville. But again, that's a bit more controllable as well in the free throws aspect. Fierce has missed a couple lately. His free throw percentage has dropped a little bit, but no concerns there. He's still like 88%, so no worries. But again, free throws still a more reliable way to score, I guess I should say, than 3-point shooting, especially for Michigan State this season. But yeah, that is all for today. There'll be plenty more written content coming your way at SpartanNation.com or at Michigan State Spartans on SI. Thank you, though, for watching or listening. Wherever you're getting this, we'll have more podcasts coming your way from Washington, D.C. Coming soon. But yeah, that is all for today. Once again, though, I'm Jacob Hatzanika. I'll see you guys around.